Now we will see what is multi-level feedback queue scheduling, CPU scheduling. This scheduling is like multi-level queue scheduling, but in this, process can move between the queues. Multi-level feedback queue scheduling changes priority of process depending upon the behavior of the process. Now here in the diagram you can see there are three queues, Q1, Q2 and Q3. Okay, and Q1 has the highest priority and Q3 has the lowest priority. So here Q1, Q2 may follow a round robin algorithm and Q3 may follow FCFS. Okay, so that is first come first serve. When a process starts executing, then it first enters Q1. Okay, so if a process in Q1 does not complete in specified time quantum, then its priority gets reduced and then it is shifted to Q2. In general, if a process does not complete in a time quantum, then it is shifted to the lower priority queue. In the last queue, processes are scheduled in FCFS manner. Okay, a process in lower priority queue can only execute when higher priority queues are empty. Okay, and the process running in the lower priority queue is interrupted by a process arriving in the higher priority queue. Okay, here I have mentioned that Q1 and Q2 follows round robin and Q3 follows FCFS, but it is not necessary. Q3 can also follow round robin. Now, what are the problems in this implementation? A process in the lower priority queue can suffer from starvation due to some short processes taking all the CPU time. So what is the solution for this? A simple solution. What can be done is we can boost the priority of all the processes after regular intervals and place them all in the highest priority queue. Now we'll solve one example. Consider a system which has a CPU bound process which requires the burst time of 40 seconds. The multi-level feedback queue scheduling algorithm is used and the queue time quantum 2 seconds is given, and in each level it is incremented by 5 seconds. Then how many times the process will be interrupted and on which queue the process will terminate the execution. Now the total time required by a process is given, that is 40 seconds. Okay, that is the total execution time. Now at Q1 it will be executed only for 2 seconds. Why? Because the time quantum for Q1 is 2 seconds. Okay, then it is interrupted and shifted to Q2. So Q1 has a highest priority, Q2 is a lower priority than Q1, it is shifted to Q2. And what is given at each level, the time quantum is incremented by 5 seconds. So here at Q2 it is executed for 7 seconds. Why 7? Because 2 plus 5 is equal to 7. Okay, so after 7 seconds again it is interrupted and shifted to Q3. Then in Q3 5 more seconds we have to add, so 7 plus 5 becomes 12 seconds. So after 12 seconds again it will be interrupted and shifted to Q4. In Q4 you have to add 5 seconds more, so 12 plus 5 becomes 17 seconds, and then it is interrupted and shifted to Q5. Now total how many seconds are required? 40. So 2 plus 5, 2 plus 7 plus 12 plus 17, okay, is equal to how much? It is 38, right? So we need 2 more seconds, okay, in Q5. So Q5 it will execute only for 2 seconds and then the execution will be complete. Execution is completed and hence the process is interrupted how many times? 4 times, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, and it completes in Q5. Now we'll see the advantages and disadvantages. So it is more flexible. It allows different processes to move between different queues. It prevents starvation by moving a process that waits too long for lower priority queue to the higher priority queue. Disadvantages: for the selection of the best scheduler, it requires some other means to select the values. It produces more CPU overheads and it is most complex algorithm.